On October 3rd, 1990, the world witnessed the dissolution of East Germany, officially known as the German Democratic Republic or GDR, as it integrated its recently re-established constituent federated states into the Federal Republic of Germany, forming the present-day unified nation of Germany. This significant event led to the adoption of October 3rd, 1990 as the symbolic German Unity Day, which has been celebrated annually as a national holiday in Germany since 1991. Following the conclusion of World War II in Europe, the former German Reich was dismantled, with the unconditional surrender of German military leaders in May 1945. The nation found itself in a state of defeat and collapse. Sovereign authority shifted to the victorious Allied powers, and the German state ceased to exist. There was no peace treaty, and the aftermath saw the emergence of two separate nations. For the purpose of occupation, Germany was divided into 4 zones, split between the Americans, British, French and Soviets. The western 2/3 of Germany, consisting of the American, British and French zones, formed the Federal Republic of Germany or West Germany, which was established on May 23rd, 1949. Conversely, the eastern third of Germany comprised a Soviet zone, resulting in the formation of the German Democratic Republic or East Germany, established in October 1949. Berlin, the former German capital surrounded by the Soviet zone, was placed under joint 4-power authority, but was administratively partitioned into 4 sectors. An Allied Control Council was designated to exercise overall joint authority over the country. The sudden and unforeseen collapse of the German Democratic Republic was catalyzed by the collapse of other communist regimes in Eastern Europe and the Soviet Union. Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev's liberalizing reforms in the Soviet Union deeply unsettled
Erich Honecker
East German regime. By 1988, in a state of desperation, the East German government prohibited the circulation of Soviet publications within East Germany, deeming them dangerously subversive. The East German government, under the control of the Socialist Unity Party of Germany or the SED, began to weaken on May 2nd, 1989. This was prompted by a significant event in neighbouring Hungary, where a reformist government removed the border fence with Austria and effectively breached the Iron Curtain. While the border remained heavily guarded, the pan-European picnic and the hesitant response from Eastern Bloc leaders initiated an irreversible momentum. A mass exodus ensued, with thousands of East Germans fleeing to West Germany via Hungary. As the fall approached, thousands more embarked on the same route, while others sought refuge in West German embassies in Prague and Warsaw, demanding permission to immigrate to West Germany. By the end of September,
Hans-Dietrich Genscher,
who still served as West Germany's foreign minister, orchestrated their transfer to West Germany. However, another wave of refugees from East Germany quickly filled their void. Simultaneously, mass demonstrations erupted in the streets of
Leipzig
and other East German cities, openly challenging the authorities and advocating for reforms. In a bid to stem the worsening situation, the Socialist Unity Party of Germany ousted
Hans-Dietrich Genscher
in mid-October and installed another staunch communist,
Egon Krenz,
in his place. Under
Egon Krenz
leadership, the Politburo aimed to quell the embarrassment caused by the surge of refugees fleeing to the west through Hungary, Czechoslovakia and Poland. On November 9th,
Günther Schabowski,
a communist official, inadvertently declared during a televised news conference that the government would permit East Germans unrestricted passage to West Germany, effective immediately.
Die abendliche Pressekonferenz von Politbüro-Mitglied Günther Schabowski plätscherte über eine Stunde so dahin, dann ganz am Ende plötzlich das Thema Flüchtlingswelle und diese Mitteilung.
Haben wir uns dazu entschlossen, heute eine Regelung zu treffen, die es jedem Bürger der DDR möglich macht, über Grenzübergangspunkte der DDR auszureisen. Wie die Presseabteilung des Ministeriums hat der Ministerrat beschlossen, dass bis zum Inkrafttreten einer entsprechenden gesetzlichen Regelung durch die Volkskammer diese Übergangsregelung in Kraft gesetzt wird. Also doch, ständige Ausrüstung können über alle Grenzübergangsstellen der DDR zur BRD bzw. zu Berlin-West erfolgen.
While the government's actual intention was to require East Germans to apply for exit visas during regular working hours, this statement was widely interpreted as a decision to open the Berlin Wall that very evening. Thus, crowds gathered and demanded entry into West Berlin. Caught off guard, the border guards allowed them to pass. In a night of jubilation, tens of thousands of East Germans streamed through the crossing points on the wall, celebrating their newfound freedom alongside joyous West Berliners. The fall of the Berlin Wall marked an irreversible turning point for the German Democratic Republic, leading to its eventual demise. As increasingly larger demonstrations called for government representation,
Egon Krenz
was ousted from power in mid-November. He was replaced by a reform-minded communist,
Hans Modrow,
who promised free multi-party elections. In March 1990, during the election balloting, the Socialist Unity Party of Germany, now rebranded as the Party of Democratic Socialism or PDS, suffered a decisive defeat. The eastern counterpart of
Helmut Kohl's
Christian Democratic Union of Germany, which had advocated for a swift reunification of Germany, emerged as the dominant political force force in East Germany's first democratically elected People's Chamber, led by
Lothar de Maizière.
A long-standing member of the Eastern Christian Democratic Union. A new East German government took office. Initially supported by a broad coalition, including the Eastern counterparts of the Social Democrats and Free Democrats, the government initiated negotiations for a unification treaty. Negotiations were expedited by a mounting influx of refugees from East to West Germany, which posed a serious threat to the stability of East Germany. In July, the situation was partially alleviated by the establishment of a monetary union between the two Germanys, granting East Germans access to the hard currency of the Federal Republic. In July 1990, the last obstacle to reunification was removed when
Helmut Kohl
persuaded Gorbachev to withdraw his objections to a unified Germany's NATO membership in exchange for substantial financial assistance from West Germany to the Soviet Union. Subsequently, a unification treaty was ratified by both the
Bundestag
and the People's Chamber in September, officially taking effect on October 3, 1990. The German Democratic Republic was incorporated into the Federal Republic as 5 additional states, and the divided city of Berlin was reunified as the capital of the newly unified Germany. However, despite the reunification, significant disparities persist between the former East and West Germany in terms of lifestyle, wealth, political ideologies, and other aspects. As a result, it is still common to differentiate between Eastern and Western Germany. This disparity is often referred to as the wall on the head, or
Mauer im Kopf.
Easterners, known as
Ossis,
are frequently stereotyped as being racist, financially disadvantaged, and heavily influenced by Russian culture. In contrast, Westerners, or
Wessis,
are often perceived as being snobbish, dishonest, affluent, and self-centered. There is a prevalent sentiment among East Germans of resentment with the current state of affairs and a feeling of cultural alienation from the rest of Germany. They also believe that their cultural heritage is not fully recognized in the now unified Germany. Conversely, the West has shown diminished interest in the opinions and perspectives of the East, further exacerbating the divide and leading to increased resentment towards the East. Politicians and scholars have often advocated for a process of inner reunification between the two countries, questioning whether there is inner unification or continued separation. Former Chancellor Angela Merkel, who was raised in East Germany, declared in 2009 that, quote, "The process of German unity has not ended yet." This has been me, Jack, and that's enough of me talking. It's time to see the divide for yourself.
Für Recht und Gesetz da zu sein, stehen wir jederzeit für die Heimat, für Ordnung und Sicherheit ein. In Straßen und Betrieben, auf Schienen und am Rhein, beseelt vom Friedenswillen, geführt von der Partei. Gemeinsam mit unseren Helfern verwirklichen wir Tag und Nacht die Sehnsucht nach Ruhe und Frieden und damit ein Stück unserer Macht. In Straßen und Betrieben, auf Schienen und am Rhein, beseelt vom Friedenswillen, geführt von der Partei. Im Kampf mit den Feinden erfahren und nie uns zu beugen bereit.